10DLC registrations don't have to be a guessing game. You know you need to register, but it's not always clear what complete information actually looks like to Twilio and the carriers. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We'll give you a step-by-step guide to submitting a successful campaign, hopefully on your first try. If you're ready to stop guessing and start sending, you're in the right place. Before we dive into the steps, let's clear up some terminology. First, consent and opt-in. This is the foundation of 10DLC. It simply means your customers have explicitly agreed to hear from you. Opt-out is the hard stop. It's when a user says, no more, and legally, you must honor that immediately. Next, there's the term campaign. Don't let the name fool you. In the world of 10DLC, a campaign isn't just for marketing or sales. Whether you're sending a promotional discount, a password reset, or a shipping alert, it's all a campaign. If you're sending a message, it needs a campaign registration to back it up. You'll also see the term A2P, or application to person. This is just the industry's way of saying any message sent from a business platform like Twilio to a mobile phone. When it comes to campaign registration, there are two simple rules of thumb to live by. First, consent must be clear and never forced. Your users need to know exactly what they're signing up for, and agreeing to receive messages should be a choice, not a requirement to use your service. Second, what your customer sees is what Twilio needs to see. There should be no daylight between the experience you give your users and the information you provide in your registration. Every checkbox, every terms and conditions link, and every sample message that you plan to send must be shared exactly as it appears in the real world. Basically, no surprises. If you're transparent with your users, you're halfway to an approval. So how does this look in practice? It all comes down to verifiable proof. If your users opt in via your website, provide the direct URL. Just make sure the site is live and the opt-in flow is easy to find. If you're collecting consent through a physical form, take a clear photo of it, upload it to a hosting service, and share that link. And if you're getting consent verbally, whether in person or on the phone, don't worry. You just need to provide the exact script your customers hear. Write down exactly what you say to them so the reviewers can see how you're asking for permission. No matter the method, the rule is the same. If the reviewer can't see the process, they can't approve the campaign. Now, let's get into the campaign submission itself. We can boil a successful application down to 4 essential keys: user consent, privacy policy, brand consistency, and the ideal submission. We're starting with user consent. I'm not exaggerating. This is the most critical part of your registration and where the majority of rejections happen. If you get this right, you're already ahead of the pack. When you're collecting phone numbers, remember these 3 magic words: clear, explicit, and voluntary. Your opt-in must be unmistakable. The user has to take a physical action to agree, and you can never force them into it. Let's look at method 1, the web form. Take a look at this. It's a picture-perfect example of a sign-up form. Let's break down why this works. First, the phone number field is marked as optional. Second, there's no bundling. There are 2 separate checkboxes, one for marketing, one for transactional, and you cannot combine them. Third, the legal script. Each box includes the required language, message frequency, data rates, and instructions to reply help or stop. And finally, the footer. The privacy policy and terms of service links are clearly visible. Here's a critical rule. These checkboxes cannot be pre-checked. The user must click them manually. Also, opting in cannot be a requirement for buying your product. The form should submit successfully, even if the user leaves the SMS boxes blank. And here's a pro tip. If your form is behind a login, don't just describe it. Share a screenshot, upload it to a public host like Google Drive, and share that link with Twilio so that the reviewers can see it for themselves. Method 2 is verbal consent. What if you're collecting consent over the phone or in person? The rules are just as strict, but the proof is different. You need to provide a verbatim script, the exact word-for-word lines your agents use or automated systems use. It must include what the texts are for, how often they'll arrive, the message and data rates may apply warning, and instructions for help and stop. You must also tell the user exactly where they can find your privacy policy or read the key parts to them. Method 3, physical forms. Do you have a physical paper form? The same rules apply. You'll need to take a clear photo of the form, upload it to a hosting service, and share that link. Ensure the form itself contains all the mandatory disclosure language and a link for your privacy policy. Method 4, SMS keyword opt-in. If the users opt in by texting a keyword to your number, the logic remains the same, but the source changes. First, show the source. Twilio needs to see where the user found your number. Was it a QR code, an email, or a website? Next, define the keyword. Share exactly which keyword, like start or join, they'll use. And finally, the auto reply. You must share the immediate confirmation message they receive. It should look like this. Welcome to Acme Alerts. Up to 4 messages per month. Message and data rates may apply. Reply help for help, stop to cancel. Remember, what the user sees or hears is what Twilio must see. If you use multiple methods, you must document every single one. Missing even one flow is a one-way ticket to an immediate rejection. And a quick note for those sending only to internal employees. You might think the rules are more flexible since you own the phones. They aren't. Whether it's a customer or a staff member, the consent and disclosure rules are exactly the same. Moving on to key number 2, your privacy policy. This one is deceptively simple, but it's a sneaky rejection point that trips up even the most prepared teams. Your privacy policy likely covers a lot, but for 10DLC approval, reviewers are scanning for one specific clause regarding mobile data. Think of this as your golden ticket. Your policy must include this exact wording or something very close to it. No mobile information will be shared with third parties or affiliates for marketing or promotional purposes. If that promise that you will not sell or share phone numbers for marketing is missing, your campaign will be rejected. Now, there's an important distinction here. This doesn't mean that you can't share data with the partners who actually help you run your business, like your CRM or your customer service platform. That's perfectly fine. The red flag for carriers is sharing data for marketing or promotional purposes. That is the non-negotiable part. One final reminder, a link to this privacy policy must be visible and accessible during the consent phase, no matter which opt-in method you use. All right, now for our third key, brand consistency. Think of 10DLC reviewers as digital detectives. They're going to cross-reference every piece of data you submit. Everything has to align. If your brand is Acme Inc., but your website is mycourse.com, and your contact email is a personal Gmail address, the reviewer's going to be suspicious. You should always use your company domain for your website and email. And make sure that your website actually works. If a reviewer clicks on your link and hits a 404 error, that's an immediate rejection. Your story has to be consistent across every touch point. Now, what if you're a software provider or an ISV and your customers are the ones sending the messages? In this case, you are registering the campaign on behalf of your clients. If you are Acme Software, but you are registering for a dental clinic, that clinic's brand must be the one that is front and center in the submission. You also need to explicitly explain this relationship to Twilio. Most importantly, each of your customers needs their own separate campaign. You cannot bundle multiple clients into a single registration. All right, we're in the home stretch. Key number 4 is the ideal submission. Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. Before you hit submit, let's walk the line together. Step 1, the click test. Click every single link that you've provided. Make sure that they are live and publicly accessible from anywhere in the world. Step 2, the proof check. Did you include proof for every way a user can consent? Step 3, the identity check. Give your brand info one last look. Does the name on the registration match the name on the website? Step 4, the brand tag. Every sample message should clearly state your brand name so the user knows exactly who is texting. Now, a few tips for the campaign selection phase. Your use case must be an honest match for your messages. If you're sending marketing promos, don't label them as 2FA. If you're sending fraud alerts, don't select higher education. The carriers are looking for a perfect one-to-one match. If you're sending a mix of promotional SMS and transactional alerts, select the mixed use case. But remember this crucial rule. Even in a mixed campaign, consent must be separate. You cannot use a single checkbox to opt a user into both marketing and transactional texts. The user must have the choice to receive your alerts without being forced to receive your ads. Finally, let's talk about your message samples. If you have a mixed use case, you must provide samples for both types of messages. If you only show the welcome text but forget the flash sale text, you're risking a rejection. Each sample must follow the help stop framework. Your very first message to a user must include instructions on how to get help and how to quit. For example, welcome to Acme. Up to 4 messages per month, message and data rates may apply. Reply help for help and stop to opt out. And don't forget, your brand name must be visible in these samples. The brand is the anchor that holds your entire 10DLC registration together. And there you have it, the keys to unlocking a successful 10DLC registration. It all boils down to clear user consent, that golden ticket sentence in your privacy policy, solid brand consistency, and a final, careful review of your campaign submission. When you document exactly how your users find you and how they agree to hear from you, you're proving your integrity as a sender. I know these rules can feel like jumping through hoops, but they exist for one vital reason: to build a messaging world that people can actually trust. When you embrace this level of transparency, you're doing more than just avoiding a rejection. You're building a foundation of trust with every customer you text. One last check, one final review, and then you're ready to submit. Good luck with your registration. We're excited to see you turn these connections into amazing customer experiences.